We're underway here with the Cardiff Devils top line of Martin, Pope and Haddad, and they have it in the zone now. Pope to Martin out front, but he couldn't get a hold of it. The Steelers have started with the Dowd, Nelson, Valdix line, who have been perhaps chief tormentors of the Devils over the season at least. They've certainly been the most impressive line we've seen down here. Gleeson Fournier walks in, shoots, good save up high. Another chance, they score! Gleeson Fournier with acres of space out front, walked his way in, picked up the second chance. The Devils 1-0 early on. This is Myers, Farina and Haddad. We thought Myers may have more of a role to play in this game tonight. Then we get a bump on the boards. Neely and Farina just talking, and the invitation is there. They're going to go. Justin Farina in a difficult spot, but then gets the left hand free on Neely with a good rights too. Look at this scrap. There's no defence in this one. Look at these two pounding away. Neely with some wonderful right hands. Farina with the left too. The boxes are open and waiting for the combatants. They're tied up. A short but a spectacular scrap, John Donovan.
And I love that respect at the end. Both players tapping each other on the shorts. There's a nastiness in this game as we see Farina finish on Dowd there.
There's Levi Nelson though in on goal. 2-on-1 shoots, and it was saved in the end by Bounds. And as you say, there's a little bit behind the play as well there, John. Now with Scott Arson, he'll get it away from Ulmer, and Ronberg will take a bump from Farina right back into the physical play. But here comes Colton Fretter. He's got Matthew Waugh with him. Fretter pulls a move and gets inside Bryce Reddick there, but a good save from Ben Bounds turned him aside. The lead play to Andreas Valdix. Valdix has scored goals against the Devils this season. He's been one of their better players in the season series. And that was an easy save for Ben Bounds. But the Steelers just starting to assert themselves with a little bit more of the quality zone time, I would say.
It might be the Steelers having the zone time, but probably the Devils have had the best scoring chances so far tonight.
Yeah, here's Colton Fretter. 3-on-2 they go. He's got Vesterling there going to the net that time. Mark Matheson jumping into the play, but they couldn't get it through to him, and the Devils clear the zone again. Here come the Sheffield Steelers. Eric Neely off the back of that great fight moments ago into the zone, gets it out front. Bounds, what a fine save that was. Matt Marquardt was out front, and they almost bundled it past Bounds, but he was strong at his crease. Here is Paul Crowder up on the boards. The Steelers will get it out through John O'Phillips, the captain. Back it goes now to the Devils captain, sets up Crowder. Batch this time goes back and shoots. Another try from Batch there, couldn't quite get there in the end, and there is going to be a call on the play at long last. Now Sean Bentivolio gets it down low. 1:30 left on the power play. Aslin goes out front but couldn't make it work. And we get a bit of pushing and shoving too. Myers is a nuisance out there. Mark Matheson did well on him. Out there with Jonas Ronberg, the big defenseman for the Steelers, key in these situations. Haddad gets it to Hotham though, shoots, and it's saved well up high, and then Ronberg with a glove to the face of Matthew Myers. Bentivolio. Zach Fitzgerald killing as a forward out there, so the Steelers with 3 defensemen. Fired again, they score! Joey Haddad let that one go through, might have deflected on the way, but the Devils go 2-0 up with a power play goal.
Well, I was ready to give this goal to Matthew Myers. There's certainly a deflection. Haddad puts the puck through. I think that hit something on the way through, but Haddad's claiming it.
And they send out the Vesterling Waugh Fretter line. Mark Matheson there too, so there's plenty of firepower for the Steelers with half a minute left in the first. Fournier up against Matthew Waugh. The Devils needed a win, a draw there, but couldn't do it. Waugh on the wraparound try, couldn't find a way past Bounds, and Lewis shoveled him aside. We're underway here, the Valdix line on the ice for the Sheffield Steelers. The Martin line starts for the Cardiff Devils, sent in from Bryce Reddick. Martin will pick it up, goes around to Joey Haddad, who led it through to Matt Pope. He's on the boards now. We've got 5-on-5 hockey out there right now. The Devils 2-0 here in the second period is underway against the Sheffield Steelers. Fournier through, finds a lane, backhand try, fine save, they score! Joey Haddad had the first try out front, but there was Joey Martin to go further ahead for the Devils in goals. He makes it 3-0. 1:05 left on the power play. Haddad to Bentivolio, a confident-looking unit out there for the Cardiff Devils. Bentivolio back to Haddad with a blast, tipped out front. Mustakov's the save, and Ronberg is there to help. 54 seconds left on the power play. The Devils with a league-high short-handed goals against this season. The Steelers are good at scoring short-handed as well, but they fire in on Mustakovs there through Fournier, who's tumbled over there but just lost an edge. No call. 5 seconds left on the power play. The Steelers have killed this one well in the end. Mark Lewis around the boards there. Mustakovs missed it, so Ben O'Connor will just about get it out there with help from Matt Marquardt, who led Liam Kirk in. Kirk shoots, but it was an easy save for Bounds, but he looks dangerous every time he has the puck, does Liam Kirk. So Andrew Hotham sets them away, but Bentivoglio has got to work hard, gets some help from Joey Martin, who, sorry, Lane Ulmer that time. Might break there for Hotham with a move, backhand try, they score! Andrew Hotham wouldn't give up, he backhanded it past Irvins Mustakovs. The Devils go up 4-0. 200th appearance for Mustakovs. A big night for him, and to have to be pulled out of the net there, that's certainly, I suppose you might say, if you're Paul Thompson, he's been let down badly by a team that he has done an awful lot for over the last few seasons. Anyway, the Steelers, their first try on the power play here. Vesling out front, wow, they score! What a bounce back from the Sheffield Steelers. They get a power play goal straight away through their leading player, Matthew Waugh. Well called timeout by Paul Thompson, and in a timely lapse in concentration from Gleeson Fournier as well, has given the Steelers a little bit of a light in this game here, with still over halfway to go, and with players like Waugh and Fretter on the ice, plenty of time, and Bounds is hammered by Waugh. And somebody here, surely in red, has got to drop the gloves, John. Bounds was clattered over in the Challenge Cup final, missed games as a result. There was no response. This happened last season a couple of times against the Sheffield Steelers with Armstrong, and we're yet to see a player drop the gloves from the Cardiff Devils.
There's going to be an initial penalty on the Devils. I think there was an interference call, Ulmer coming in and trying to separate or stop a man driving to the net. So let's deal with that first. I think there's going to be a penalty there on the hook. Then Waugh knows what he's doing, he finishes the hit, and Ulmer responds, and I'm with you. At some stage, someone's got to step up and protect Ben Bounds.
Now Hotham's still on the ice, my goodness. Bentivoglio, this power play unit has looked hot for the Devils tonight, and that's why Andrew Lord wanted Hotham to stay out there. Hotham has it now. Hotham to Bentivoglio with room, shoots! Good save there. Well, was it? It was the stick, perhaps, of Zach Fitzgerald. Here's Asselin. The Steelers back to full strength with Neely on the ice. Ulmer down low, shoots, and a good save from Day there. Calm, cool as a cucumber. Richardson with a good lead play, but O'Connor read it beautifully and actually sets the Steelers up here with Valdix. Good stick from Richardson, sent it wide of Bounds. Now Colton Fretter up against Mark Lewis, got it inside. Wow, with a quick shot, another try there. Valdix looks for a wraparound with Bounds stranded, but Bentivoglio made a good play. Another try from Waugh, though, who's come to play tonight as Matthew Waugh, and they keep it in the zone. Valdix gets it into O'Connor. O'Connor, look at those hands, goes through his legs, but no one was there to pick it up for the Steelers. Again, the blast, this time from Mark Matheson.
But the special teams are fascinating again in that the Steelers there changed their 5-man unit straight away. They won the draw. Marquardt made a quick change with the defenseman, and Marquardt went straight to the net. So, you know, Paul Thompson there not wanting to show his full hand to Andrew Lord makes the quick change. It's a fascinating game as we've got an incident off the puck.
We have got an off the incident, and Hotham is going to come in there, and Marquardt is there. Richardson was the player down for the Devils. It was so far off the play that I must apologise, neither of us saw it, but hopefully Howard caught a little bit of it. We may well have it on the GoPro as well. You never know, from behind the goal, you would think so. Yeah, at that speed, it's very difficult to tell whether perhaps even Mark Richardson, just off the force of the hit, his head just ricocheted against the glass. So I certainly take your point on that. Impossible for us to give a full appraisal of what happened there, and which would certainly side with the referees then in terms of their call at full speed on the ice. Anyway, here it is for Ben O'Connor out front. Chance there, Matheson with the net gaping. Fanned on the puck. O'Connor again off the legs of Mark Lewis now. Again, O'Connor, they score! Just as Joey Haddad steps out of the box, Ben O'Connor rifles it home on the power play. It's 4-2 Devils now. chipped in that time from Patrick Asselin. Chasing that is Davy Phillips and gets there first, but turned it over to Bentavolio, and the shot in on Day there, who makes another save. And he's been a calming presence as Brad Day for the Steelers. And then Davy Phillips takes advantage of Tom Darnell having taken a fall and clatters down Sean Bentavolio. With half a minute left, the Steelers will clear, and fielding the puck for the Devils is Ben Bounds, away through from John O'Phillips. The Steelers with a wholesale change on their penalty-killing unit. The Devils make a change too, and will try one more rush with 18 seconds left on the period. Here's Matthew Myers, gets it to the far wing. They step in with Asselin, cross ice, Bentavolio out front, they score! Sean Bentavolio danced his way in, and there was Patrick Asselin to put it home on the power play. The Devils go 5-2 up. Now Colton Fretter will go over the blue line. We're going to split the D. Hotham and Reddick out there. He gets in, but just away from goal. Now they go through Matheson. Backhand try. Another chance for Phillips stepping on there. Bounds made a good save. And Bentavolio might find some room here, but they collapsed well on him, and now they'll go through Levi Nelson. Nelson into the zone, got a bit of support there. Good shot on Bounds from a bad angle in the end, and he made an easy save that time on Andreas Valdix. Crowder now in a tussle in his own zone, couldn't win it up against Andreas Valdix. Now Levi Nelson took a bump from Andrew Hotham. Dowd got it in though, and now Valdix again up against Paul Crowder with the short hair. Crowder, Valdix, Dowd away from him, fired, they score! Levi Nelson with a blast, totally alone, makes it 5-3 now. The Steelers back in it. 2-on-1, Matthew Waugh is there. Waugh shoots, fine save from Ben Bounds there, and he needed it for his team there with a big save. Here they go. Josh Batchin on goal, shoots, and saved by Brad Day. And they've changed their unit here straight away, but away is Matthew Waugh, short-handed against Ben Bounds, puts the brakes on, still a chance, good save at the end, and he got clattered into there by Pope. Waugh is down, Wallace is straight in on him, and Waugh is thankfully back up, but there is going to be a call on Pope here, and Nelson rides a bump and keeps going. Nelson now just boxed out of it in the end, and a good takeaway play, and here's Joey Haddad, the Devils 3-on-1. Here they go with Hotham and Pope at the back door. Haddad to Hotham, fires, good save from Brad Day, and then crushed behind the play against the boards by Ronberg. Who is that? Is it Andrew Hotham down there? And he's struggling, and again we don't see any kind of reaction whatsoever from the team in red. 9:54 left as you see on your screens. 2-goal game. 2 minutes of boarding. It is then. Pope walks in, shoots, oh, and it was there for Joey Martin on the back doors. Ronberg, it was that time, crushed Morissette against the glass. And out go the Sheffield Steelers. A little bit of needle in this one now. Joey Martin, 3-on-2 the Devils. Fournier shoots and scores! The Devils hit back in only the way they know how to do, and that's on the scoreboard. It's Gleeson Fournier on the power play. 6 for the Cardiff Devils now. And in goes Matthew Waugh. Already a goal in the game for him. Gets it out front. What a save from Ben Bounds. Another try, and it was kicked aside. Might have even been off Josh Batch at the end. The Devils clear the zone. Jonathan Phillips up against Lane Ulmer. 2 Warriors there, and Ulmer gets the better of it. Up against Fitzgerald now. Hammers Fitzgerald to the ground. Who's holding his face is Fitzgerald, and we'll see what happens. No call on the play, but Fitzgerald is not the kind of player, I don't think, to hold the face on unless he's taking a hit there. They try and go now. What reaction will we see? Into the net, they hack and whack away. What a battle out there. Schudra cleans up Crowder. That was fine.
Darnell is telling the benches to stay where they are. Sorry, Al.
Goes. Valdix just teed that one up for Levi Nelson at speed around the outside of Reddick out front. Fine save on the doorstop there from Ben Bounds as the Devils close in. You would think on a win here, and one more step. The first out of 2 steps needed to clinch this back-to-back league championship. So the final seconds tick down on another Devils Steelers epic encounter here, and that'll just about be it. A 6-3 win for the Cardiff Devils, and then we get a tussle on the far side of the ice as Batch is looking for some retribution for things that have gone on during the game. The linesmen are not interested, but Batch is getting the left hand go. My goodness, on Jonas Ronberg, who ran around a lot in this one, but I think that one's going to pitter out as the Cardiff Devils maintain that perfect record at home against the Sheffield Steelers, extend their series lead and take one step, their first step of two needed, on their way to back-to-back Elite League championships.